The spark flew, but my heart fused. It was June 2022, 3 years ago, and I was 26. A metal sculptor welding forms in Detroit's neon-lit industrial district. My torch, a shield against a past that had scorched my trust. My name's Lennox, and Detroit was my forge. Its gritty pulse and electric nights a rebellion against the Cleveland suburb where I'd hidden my queerness until came out at 18 in 2014. A ghosting ex had left me crafting alone, his betrayal. In 2020, still burning my heart, so I'd sworn off love, pouring my soul into my steel sparks. Ben's, Detroit's rhythm. But that night, Corktown had other plans. Ones that welded my heart into a new frame. The Neon Forge Fest was a blaze of energy. A clash of light orange neons flashing forge, red strobes swirling. Industrial and lo-fi beats thumping. Festival goers, hyped in lead vests and steel-toed boots. My booth, Iron Vibe, was alive. My welder humming, my short chestnut hair tucked under a bandana. My work gloves flexing as I shaped a sculpture. I was mid-weld, the crowd buzzing, when an industrial designer. Torin tripped over my torch cable, his toolbox crashing, my welder toppling. The crowd gasped. My sculpture dented, and I snapped. Yo, watch the gear. He turned Torin, maybe 28, his cropped black hair glowing, a loose jacket flashing, his hazel eyes wide, flustered like a spark in the neon haze. I wanted to reforge. Cleveland's scars yelling, "Keep your steel tight," but his eyes caught me, warm under the neon. My heart melting like molten metal. "My bad," he said, scrambling to grab his tools, his voice smooth, a Detroit lilt cutting through the murmurs, his fingers brushing mine on the cable, a jolt igniting my skin. I checked my welder frame bent, and Torin leaned in, his column smoke. Cedar mixing with the festival's metallic air. "I'm Torin," he said, dusting his jacket, his grin shy but electric. "Designer? Saw your sculptures on Instaraw." My cheeks burned, Cleveland's walls trembling. But his vibe felt too much like my ex's charm. Too risky to weld. My ex had been a machinist. All hype until he ghosted me in 2020, leaving me to weld alone in Cleveland's rusty garages. My trust charred. I reset my torch, but Torin lingered, his eyes tracing mine like he saw the art beyond my bandana. "Let me make it up," he said, offering to sketch a fix for my sculpture. The crowd hyping as I adjusted my gloves. The neon pulsed, Corktown's. Energy urging me to spark, but I deflected. "I'm good," I said, voice sharp, checking my welder. Torin's laugh bright, warm cut through, his hand grazing my wrist, a spark I couldn't quench. "Check my designs," he said, nodding to his booth, his eyes daring. "Or you two stuck in your steel." I wanted to stay in my booth. But Torin's grin pulled me to his setup. The neon flaring orange, red, blue as lo-fi beats thumped louder. His design booth was rugged blueprints flashing structural sketches. His TikTok clips trending with industrial renders. The crowd buzzing. My pulse raced. Cleveland's ghosts fading, Detroit's heat urging me to forge. But mid-sketch, a steel frame wobbled, Torin stumbling toward the booth edge. I lunged, grabbing his arm, pulling him back, our eyes locking, his breath hot against my cheek. "Nice save," he gasped, his grin electric, his hair brushing my jaw. My heart surged, but doubt clung. Was he real, or just another Corktown spark, ready to ghost like my ex? I pulled back, the neon blurring as I retreated to my welder. Corktown's rhythm syncing with my fear. "Thanks for the catch, Torin," called, following me. His jacket open, his eyes softer now, less flash, more real. "Stay," he said, voice low, a plea in his Detroit lilt. The festival buzzed, neon glowing brighter, city hum pulsing nearby, and I knew this wasn't just a toppled torch. This was Detroit, welding me into a frame I wasn't ready for, but couldn't break. The festival warehouse was a neon forge-red lights pulsing forge, orange strobes flashing, industrial beats driving the crowd wild. Torin dragged me to his design booth, his tools down, his hands light on my shoulders, urging me to try a new blueprint for his project. My pulse hammered, Cleveland's scars begging me to cool off. But Detroit's heat-gritty electric kept me welding. My bandana loose, Torin's grin pulling me deeper. Not bad, Forge King, he teased, voice low, his breath sparking. A shiver. Knew you had a vibe, I shot back. Steadier than I felt, my sculptor's calm matching his energy. Asterisk, my ex had shaped promises like this. All bolts until he ghosted me in 2020, leaving me to weld alone in Cleveland's cracked shops. My heart scorched. Torin's touch was different, bold, yet careful, his eyes searching mine like he saw the steel beyond my torch. The music slowed, a chill lo-fi track, and Torin stepped closer, his chest grazing mine. His column smoke, cedar intoxicating. Why are you shielded? He asked, voice piercing, like he knew my welds. My throat tightened, Cleveland's pain surging, but Detroit's neon urged me to speak. I don't trust designers, I confessed. Voice raw, the crowd fading. Just us in the neon glow. Torin's grin softened, his eyes dimming. Less spark, more human. His hand still on my arm, warm, grounding. I'm not that guy, he said, voice firm, his Detroit lilt tinged with hurt. Just a dude who saw your sculptures and couldn't scroll away. My heart twisted, his words hitting like a perfect weld, raw, clear, shaking Cleveland's grip. I thought of my ex's bolts, but Torin's gaze was open, unguarded. The neon pulsed, Corktown's energy wrapping us, and I wanted to believe him, but fear held me, my bandana slipping. My pulse a molten spark. We moved to my booth, neon orange. Red glinting off my welder loaf, a soft hum, the festival's buzz fading. Torin leaned in, voice quieter, less flirty, more real. I'm a designer, he said. Chase structures, live for the build. But your sculptures, they're real, Lennox, like you. His words felt sincere, but a festival goer nearby scoffed, calling Torin Corktown's blueprint hustler. Always drafting, never staying. My stomach sank. Cleveland's scars screaming. Break. That true? I asked, voice sharp, my welder still, eyes locked on his. Torin's eyes widened, hurt flashing, but he didn't dodge. I draft, he said, voice low, but I don't ghost. The neon flared, Corktown's pulse, mocking my doubt, urging me to hear him. I stood, ready to pack my tools, the neon blazing. My boots soft on the floor, Corktown's rhythm syncing with my fear. Torin grabbed my wrist, gentle, his eyes pleading, raw, unguarded. Don't break the weld, he said, voice cracking, cutting through the festival's hum. I'm not your ex, Lennox. My heart raced, his touch electric Detroit's. Heat urging me to stay, but Cleveland's voice hissed, he'll ghost. Prove it, I challenged, voice trembling, a desperate hope. Torin's grip steadied, his eyes burning with resolve, the neon glowing brighter. Corktown daring us to forge. I stepped away, the city's hum blending with the neon buzz, Torin following. His jacket catching the orange and red lights, his eyes fixed on me. The night air was cool. A light breeze off the Detroit River, Corktown's energy alive, pulsing like a heartbeat. I knew this wasn't just a toppled torch or a saved stumble. This was us, two sparks forging Detroit's neon foundry, fighting to stick the weld. Caught in a frame the city was shaping, one I wasn't sure I could trust, but couldn't scrap. A light breeze swept through Corktown, Detroit's neon orange. Signs, red factory streaks shimmering in the festival's afterglow as I walked away in June 2022. My welder heavy, my heart heavier. Torren's blueprint hustler label echoed too close to my ex's bolts. Cleveland's scars screaming, "Bail." "Lennox, wait," Torren called, chasing me, his hair messy, his hazel eyes wild, desperate. "What's wrong?" he asked. Voice slicing through the breeze. I spun, anger flaring, bandana off. "You're just a hustler," I snapped, voice raw, shaking. "I'm not your next blueprint, Torren." The neon flickered, the river humming, Detroit's pulse mocking. My fear urging me to listen. Torren's face fell, his grin gone, his eyes raw. Wounded, breeze ruffling his hair like tears. "You believe that?" he said, voice low, cracked, heavy with pain. "I'm not your ex, Lennox." He stepped closer, neon painting his face orange and red, his hands open, vulnerable. "I design, yeah, I chase structures, but I've been burned guys who wanted my plans, not me." Left me drafting alone in 2020. My chest tightened, his story mirroring mine. Cleveland's betrayal fading under his truth. But doubt lingered, could I trust him? Or was Detroit's neon just another filter? The breeze softened, his eyes, pleading, raw, urging me to stay. Torren grabbed my hand. His fingers warm despite the breeze, his grip soft, his eyes blazing with resolve. "You're different," he said. Voice steady, a vow carved in Detroit's glow. "Your sculptures, your heart I saw you before I knew you." My breath hitched, his words hitting like a flawless weld. Raw, clear, cracking my walls. I thought of my steel, my soul poured into Detroit's pulse. The festival's cheers lifting me. "Why me?" I whispered. Voice soft, breeze slowing, neon softening. "Because you're my forge," he said, his hand steadying mine, grounding me. "I'm done with solos, Lennox, I want the weld." The breeze faded, Detroit's neon puddles glowing like stars. The rivers hum a promise overhead, Corktown skyline faint in the glow. I wanted to trust Torren to shed Cleveland's pain, but trust was a weld-eyed cracked before. His hand anchored me, his gaze unwavering, and I felt it a shift, a fusion, Detroit's energy urging me to spark. "One more weld," I said, voice low, a test, a hope, bandana loose. Torren's grin returned, soft, real, and he nodded, pulling me back toward the festival, the neon brighter. My fears dissolving like slag in Detroit's heat. We stepped back into the Neon Forge Fest, neon orange, red embracing us. Industrial beats pulsing like a heartbeat, the crowd alive again. Torren's hands stayed in mine, his touch grounding me in the chaos. And I knew this wasn't just a crash. This was us, two scarred souls, forging Detroit's neon foundry. Daring to weld, to trust, to land, even if it scared us both. Corktown's heat fueling our fight. The festival wasn't just a warehouse, it was a vibe. Food trucks lined the lot, their neon signs buzzing, serving tacos and craft soda, the air thick with grease and city dust. Sculptors welded nearby, their torches humming, orange and red lights flashing across their steel. A group of teens filmed TikToks by a glowing forge. Sign, their laughter blending with the lo-fi bass line. My friend, Cal, a fabricator with a buzzcat and a rainbow wristband, caught my eye, smirking as he adjusted a rig. "Lennox, you're off spark," he teased, nodding at Torren. "He's got you, forging." I rolled my eyes, but my grin betrayed me, Torren's hand still in mine, grounding me. Torren's design booth was a vision blueprints looping structural renders, LED strips casting orange and red hues, his TikTok clips trending with viral designs. A young welder, Zara, maybe 20, with braids and neon gloves, ran up, fist-bumping Torren. "You drafting him?" she asked, pointing at me, her giggle bright. Torin laughed, nudging her shoulder. Maybe he's shaping me, he said, his eyes flicking to mine, soft, real. My heart skipped, Cleveland's shadows fading, Detroit's neon urging me to stay. I adjusted my welder, testing a spark, the crowd cheering as Torin sketched. Our rhythm syncing. Back at my booth, the neon flared red strobes cutting through the orange haze. The crowd denser now, hyped over my sculpture. Torin stood close, flipping his blueprint, his jacket catching the glow, his eyes never leaving mine. I thought of Cleveland, the nights I'd welded in silence, my ex's bolts fading my steel. Torin was different, his presence steady, his laugh a spark that lifted me. You're killing it, he whispered, leaning in, his breath warm, sparking a shiver. I grinned, my torch dancing under my hands. Detroit's heat urging me to dive deeper. The festival wasn't just metal, it was stories. A blacksmith nearby shaped a blade, her hammer ringing, orange and red lights glinting off her anvil. A drag queen in a neon vest hyped the crowd, her voice booming, Corktown, let's forge. My cousin Jace, who'd driven from Cleveland, watched from the crowd, his rainbow cap glinting, his nod a quiet cheer. He'd seen me crash after 2020, knew how hard I'd fought to find my forge in Detroit. Torin caught his eye, waving, and Jace mouthed, he's dope. Making me laugh mid-weld, my heart lighter than it had been in years. Torin's past wasn't clean either. Over coffee at his booth, he shared fragments, 1E20, a firm that promised collabs but ghosted him, leaving him drafting in Detroit's co-working spaces, his dreams on pause. I thought I'd lost my spark, he said, voice low, his fingers tracing the rim of his cup. Then I saw your sculptures, Lennox her soul in those forms. My chest tightened, his honesty a weld that landed, Cleveland's pain fading. Further, I shared my own scars, my ex's ghosting, the nights I'd welded alone, doubting I'd ever trust again. Torin listened, his eyes steady, his hand finding mine. A silent vow in the neon glow. The festival pulsed on, the crowd growing. Wilder as the night deepened, neon signs brighter against the Detroit skyline. A group of fabricators spun lead tools, their moves syncing with the industrial beat, while a food truck chef tossed tacos to cheering fans. Cal joined us, his rig under his arm, joking, you two are a frame, Lennox. Zara, Torin's welder friend, visited, showing off a neon patch she'd welded, her gloves flashing as she grinned. The warehouse where we worked buzzed with creators, their clips now including two figures, hands linked, neon lines glowing. Corktown wasn't just a place, it was our forge, our weld, our love, etched in every spark we landed. We wandered. 2 Corktown streets, the festival's hum fading. The neon signs reflecting in puddles, the river's hum a steady pulse. Torin's hand stayed in mine, his jacket brushing my arm, his eyes soft, real. You're not just a sculptor, he said, voice low, cutting through the breeze. You're a forge, Lennox one, I can't stop designing. My heart surged, Cleveland's scars silent, Detroit's heat urging me to believe. I thought of my ex's bolts, but Torin's words were different. Roar unguarded, a spark I wanted to land. You're not bad yourself, I said, grinning, bandana loose, my pulse syncing with his. The rooftop studio above the festival glowed under Detroit's skyline orange, neon towers, flashing forge. Red-lit factories swaying, the Detroit River shimmering below like a molten stream. Torin and I sat close, my welder parked, his blueprint tucked away, our coffees sweating on the table. His hazel eyes locked on mine, no longer flashing, just open. Raw, vulnerable, my pulse racing. You're still here, he said, voice soft, carrying hope, his hair catching neon. I nodded. Cleveland's scars quiet, Detroit's heat urging me to dive. Cleveland had taught me to hide. To weld in dim garages, alone, my ex's bolts in 2020, a scar I carried to Detroit. Torrin's hand found mine, his fingers tracing my knuckles, his touch a spark lighting the studio. Warm, electric. I've messed up, he admitted, voice raw, cutting through the neon haze. Chased firms, trusted the wrong guys in 2020. But with you, Lennox Sculptures, your heart time real. My breath caught, his words vivid, like a perfect weld, his eyes burning hazel. Detroit's skyline pulsing, his truth crashing over me. Torrin stood, his silhouette framed by neon, his voice rising, raw, a confession under Detroit's stars. I'm falling for you, he said, eyes locked on mine. Neon exploding orange, red, blue, the studio, trembling with his truth. The festival pulsed below, oblivious, but my world froze. His words a tide washing Cleveland's fear. Leaving? Only us. I thought of my ex's cuts, but Torrin was different, his gaze, his voice, his heart, real. And I was falling too. I'm scared, I whispered, bandana off, voice shaky. But Torrin's hands cupped my face, his thumbs brushing my cheeks, warm, steadying. I stood, my welder forgotten, our eyes locked, tension electric, air thick with Detroit's heat. Me. Two, he murmured, voice soft, but I want this. Lennox, you, me. This city, all of it. The neon sang, orange and red, swirling, and we kissed deep, wild, the river humming below. Skyline bursting, vivid, alive. The crowd cheered downstairs, unaware, but our kiss was ours. Sealing a frame eternal in Corktown's fire, neon wrapping us in a vow we'd fight for. Detroit's pulse fueling us. The kiss broke, foreheads touching, neon softening. Detroit's warmth, a blanket. My welder lay forgotten, Torrin's blueprint glinting, his renders of neon designs glowing us, our montage inked in oranges and reds. We're forging this, he said, voice soft, grin, bright, eyes promising more. I nodded. Heartful, Cleveland scars fading under Detroit's magic, a promise we could keep. This wasn't just a kiss, was us, two sparks in Corktown's chaos. Burning bright, ready to weld love, one neon night at a time. Now, 3 years later, I'm June 2025. I stand at Iron Vibe, shaping a new sculpture, smiling at the memory. Torrin's designs light up our shared studio, his blueprints styling Detroit's industrial scene. Our love, a weld that's kept burning. My name is Lennox, and this is our story, a gay love sparked in Detroit's neon, fighting to shine. Will we outshine Corktown's glow, or stay lost in its vibrant forge? Dawn broke over Corktown that June 2022 morning. Detroit's skyline fading as red sunrise spilled across the river, neon signs dimming as the city stirred. Torrin and I walked the streets, hands linked, my welder slung over my shoulder, his blueprint tucked under his arm. Corktown had reforged my soul, its neon heart sparking a love I never thought I'd find. Torrin's hazel eyes met mine, his jacket loose, smile soft, a vow brighter than the neon that brought us together. We're landing this, he said, voice steady, hand squeezing mine. Detroit's dawn sealing our promise. Warm, real. Asterisk. Cleveland was a shadow now. My ex's bolts in 2020, a faint scar. Replaced by Torrin's warmth, his bold designs, his heart that saw my soul through the neon haze. We'd built a life here, my sculptures ruling Corktown's galleries, Torrin's blueprints trending online, our love a frame Detroit welded. I thought of that night, the toppled torch, the saved stumble, the rooftop kiss that changed everything. Neon painting us in oranges and reds. You're my perfect weld, I said, grinning, bandana loose, voice steady, no longer afraid. Torin laughed, pulling me close, lips brushing my forehead, river humming a chorus of hope. Alive, endless. I pictured us, my mind shaping steel. Torin's blueprints, Detroit's skyline, a vivid montage of our love, bold and bright. Torin watched, arm around me, his touch grounding me, the streets alive with welders, designers, cities, rhythms syncing with ours. We'd faced challenges Detroit's grind, the world's cuts, our fears, but we were enough, our frame stronger than any break. Let's make it a banger, Torin said, grin, bright eyes, promising forever, or as close as Corktown could give. Detroit's pulse beat in us, a love story inked in neon and dawn, shining on. The streets weren't just a path, was a forge. A welder sparked nearby, her torch humming, orange and red lights flashing across her steel. A biker zipped past, his lead tires glowing, shouting, "Keep the vibe, sculptors." Jace, my cousin, joined us, his camera snapping candids, his smile wide. "You're forging, Lennox," he said, his voice soft, knowing the weight of my Cleveland days. Torin grinned, tossing him a sketch, and Jace laughed. The moment light, real. Detroit's dawn wrapping us in hope. Our studio became our hub, welders lining the walls. Torin's laptops glowing with renders, our neon sign buzzing iron vibe. Cal dropped by, his rig tapping a beat, joking, "You two are a frame, Lennox." Zara, Torin's welder friend, visited, showing off a neon sculpture she'd crafted, her gloves flashing as she grinned. The warehouse where we worked buzzed with creators, their clips now including OOS-2 figures, hands linked, neon lines, glowing. Corktown wasn't just a place, it was our forge, our weld, our love, etched in every spark we landed. My heart glowed. Our story vivid to boys. One city, a love that fought and won against the odds. But a question lingered, soft as the dawn breeze. Could any love outlast the world's scars, or was this forge enough? I looked at Torin, hand in mine, a rainbow wristband matching mine, glinting in the sunrise, and knew we'd try. One neon night at a time. Corktown had given us a torch, and we'd welded our story bold, gay, vibrant for Detroit's skyline to frame. This wasn't just a love. This was our forge, our spark, our forever, alive in Detroit's neon shine. If this story sets your heart forging, smash like, drop a comment with your Detroit Forge vibe, and subscribe for more gay love stories. Comment, what's your neon forge? Help us hit 1,000 subscribers. Your vibe keeps these welds alive. Chase your neon and tell us, will Lennox and Torin's love outshine Corktown's glow? Or is their forge enough? My name is Lennox, and this is our story, gay love born. In Detroit's chaos, forging bright forever. Or as long as Corktown's neon glows. We walked into Corktown's crowd that morning. Hand in hand, my welder packed, Detroit's skyline a promise above. The neon signs flickered back on, our forge igniting, our love a gay story vivid, welding forever in Detroit's heat. This was our montage, a love inked in Corktown's neon heart, one sunrise at a time for the world to see.